only have a few more days until the full reveal of Gen 10, guys. I am so hyped. I'm going to be live streaming it, so make sure to turn on the post notifications so you don't miss it. It will be Friday morning. I cannot wait. We're going to see the starters. At least we should see the starter Pokemon and the full reveal of Gen 10. Let me know your thoughts and theories about it. What do you want to see be revealed, and what do you think the starter Pokemon will actually be? So today is another day where we're going to be talking about some more leaks, some more news and information, some hints. We even got somebody that came out that is from the Scarlet and Violet leak days that apparently just made a huge return almost 3 years later to talk about some potential Gen 10 leaks. So stay tuned. This is a good one. We have this website over here, which it is translated from Spanish to English. So that's why instead of grass type, it says plant type, because sometimes with like translations, words just change or whatever. So this leak was from 4chan, which I covered the designs, like the descriptions, but I don't think we knew the type of animal they were based on. So grass type is maybe going to be a bird, potentially. Like I said, this one is from 4chan, and I don't love 4chan as far as like leaks go. I prefer leaks to actually come from reputable sources rather than 4chan, but it's still very interesting because we are still in that time where we're getting all these random leaks all over the place and you never know what's gonna happen. Plus, we only have a couple more days to talk about this, so like why not theorize and speculate for the last couple of days here. Fire type dog, water type gecko. I love the gecko, and dog would be pretty sick too. And I do like bird Pokemon, so I like all of these. Although, even though I'm saying that, I kind of would prefer different animals, like a kangaroo. A bat would be cool. I know it's like low-key a bird still, but whatever. And these are the descriptions of these specific starters. Thick green eyebrows for the grass bird starter. Small dark legs, almost like an angry baby. So, bro is an angry bird for real. Fire dog, swollen forehead, tongue constantly sticking out. It's cute. The water gecko, slimy bulbous tail, dark purple eyes, almost feminine. Cool. It comes from a well-known leaker online who has been right in recent months, but who wishes to remain anonymous. What do you guys feel about this? Do you like these Pokemon? People want a dog starter very bad. People want a cat though. They want the cat starter to fill in that trio of cat starters because we have Litten, Sprigatito, which is Gen 7 and 9. So now we're on 10. So they could give us some sort of water cat maybe to fill in that trio. But yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts and theories. What do you think the starter Pokemon will be based on? The region will be taking place in Southeast Asia, by the way. So if you didn't already know, the region will be Southeast Asia with a little bit of Australia. So that's why a lot of people want a kangaroo, because there is a very, very tiny part of the leaked map that we had from the Terra leak that is Australia, and I think that's pretty cool. That's very sick, because we've all wanted an Australian region forever. And now people think that may lead to the Gen 10 DLC actually being in Australia, which I think would be really cool, but I think the Australian region deserves its own game. Australia is very cool, and it's pretty big too, so I think it would be more than deserving of its own full-on region rather than just a DLC, but I mean, I'll take what we can get. And if you guys don't mind subscribing to the channel to help reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers, it is very much appreciated. Any support goes such a long way, guys, and so you don't miss out on the newest Pokemon news, leaks, and updates. All right, let's get right back to it. Let's talk about Pokemon Day again for a second. Like I said, a couple more days away for the full reveal of Gen 10, and then all the other random stuff that they have been talking about, like champions and all that, which Pokemon themselves literally did claim that it's going to be the best one yet. So I made a video about this. I won't talk about it too long, but basically my theory is they should be hopefully revealing something big that we don't know about just yet, but we will have to see. So this is from the Pori Leaks tracker, which I love the Pori Leaks tracker. I think it's just a very fun way of like looking at leaks. So basically there are currently multiple independent claims that allege that Pokémon Presents information has leaked through private communications online. Information that contains clips and pics and graphics, which is nuts. How long until we actually get leaked photos? Any day now. I feel like if we do, it's gonna be probably the night before the actual presents. I feel like a lot of people wait for that because they don't want like all this stuff going out online and then them getting in big trouble for posting these leaked photos and stuff. But dude, that is crazy that there are apparently pictures and clips and graphics currently. On a separate note, game information that we covered in Pokemon Presents has allegedly leaked list. The alleged leak list it's pretty basic. It's kind of the exact things that we were all assuming was going to be revealed anyways. Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite, Fire Red, Leaf Green, ports for Pokemon, which they already announced. I don't know why the heck they announced it. That's the only thing that makes me think that they actually do have another big reveal, because if they said it's going to be the best one yet, and then they revealed one of the big hitters that no one really knew about up until the leaks that we covered about a week and a half ago with Fire Red, Leaf Green being ported over, we already know that. So that's not really a Pokemon Day reveal anymore, is it? Unless they do more, they could totally reveal Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I might actually save for the next video because I have a whole theory about that. TCG set, XD, Coliseum, Switch Online, Champions, Pokopia, and then Wind and Wave, which is Gen 10. That's Pokemon Gen 10. So this is pretty reasonable to me. I definitely could see all of these really happening. And there are also other leaks out there about Portuguese actually maybe being a language in this game, which is really cool. So I hope that does happen. I know a lot of people actually have been like begging for that to happen for a long time now. So hopefully that happens. Imagine they do drop that and then they also give us a Fire Red Leaf Green and Portuguese. That'd be pretty cool. And then Poor Lake's also just like retweeting somebody that is talking about how Fire Red Leaf Green are already #1 on the Switch eShop and how it makes sense because no more Pokemon games are going to be dropping on the Switch one besides Champions. Champions will, but Pokopia is a Switch 2 exclusive. Gen 10 will definitely be a Switch 2 exclusive. Well, we already know that Pokopia definitely is because they've already announced that stuff. But I mean, for $20 as well, which a lot of people are mad about, but $20 is not too bad. I know you could emulate it. I know we've all played it a million times, but I feel like they totally could have actually charged like 30 or 40 and people still would have purchased it. It probably still would have been #1 on the eShop. I mean, just let's be honest here. I do wish it was a physical copy though. Man, I just would love a physical copy of Fire Red Leaf Green on the Switch. We have this big post from Soul Silver Art. Big future Pokemon leaks. The data miner claimed that the original Gen 10 had 3 main pitch elements: Gaia Gen 10 plot, Oasis, Pokopia, and Seed. Oasis Seed ideas were eventually spun off. So apparently all of these things were going to be in one big game, but then they just branched it off into different games, which honestly probably is a good idea because it's just like, you know, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And so they could just focus on each game, making each one even better, hopefully. And I hope Pokemon Seed still comes out because Gen 10 is coming out, and then Oasis is coming out, which is Pokopia, and then Seed is that big MMO, the Pokemon MMO that they want to do, the official MMO that is. Oasis was split from Gen 10 and made to its own game, Pokopia. If you follow the tier leak info, Seed was mentioned in Gen 10's early pitch info in the game's plot that had a special gimmick that allowed it to evolve by procedural generation, and if you bring it to a certain island, those islands would also generate procedurally. But Seed was also mentioned as its own Poke MMO game. MMOs can have a good amount of procedural generation that would release years after Gen 10. What are the chances that these two seemingly functionally different things are called the exact same name, which is weird. They had the codename for Pokemon MMO being Pokemon Seed, and then we also have that Seed Pokemon in Gen 10. It's very weird, but we're gonna see exactly what that fully all means soon, guys. Since the Gen 10 Seed was a very early draft, what if, just like how Pokopia was originally in Gen 10, they cut the Seed concept out of Gen 10 and are currently trying to make a future game based on that game concept? Adds up to me. All this to say, but very possible the overall Seed concept was cut from Gen 10, but we will later see leftover ideas on it from Pokemon Day or in Gen 10. And then here are some diagrams like from the Terra League. This stuff is literally from the Terra League right here, just kind of talking about different, I guess, ideas they had. Here's another picture for Pokemon Seed about all the multi-region game, which would be so awesome, connecting Hoenn, Sinnoh, all the Japanese regions. And then here's another picture about the Seed Pokemon, kind of like what that Seed Pokemon is. Some like weird one-off Pokemon that it's not a legendary, it's not a mythical, like it is its own thing, which is very odd. This is basically another one about the Seed Pokemon, which I'll read a little bit of this because I feel like, you know, we all need a little refresher. I myself low-key need a refresher about the Seed Pokemon. So you can raise your Seed Pokemon on the starting island. You can receive hints by completing various quests. Once you have raised your Seed Pokemon to a certain level, you can enter. Seed Pokemon have the ability to create islands. The island inside changes as your Seed Pokemon grow. Play with procedural island generation. Also, when you enter the island, your Seed Pokemon will evolve into over 100 forms. The island reacts to these forms. All evolved forms are flowers. Procedural flower generation, fractal. If you enter the island without much development, the island will be a shabby one. When you leave the island, flowers close and will take on the same form. These islands come in a variety of sizes, floating in the ocean. So, very weird Pokemon. It seems like a very odd concept, but low-key, I think everyone forgot about this because this would be a very big, I guess, selling point or gimmick for this game. So what if they actually do reveal the Seed procedural generating Pokemon during Pokemon Day? I feel like that is a possibility if they are still working on it, if they still plan on keeping this thing in the game, because it seems like a very gimmicky thing and almost like something that they have to like really focus on to make it actually work in this game. So who knows if it actually is gonna still be in the game. Maybe it was scrapped. We also have this person on Twitter, which they were posting a lot of stuff down here before Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet dropped November 18th. You can see here like November 8th. You could see November 8th again, you know, November 9th, talking about some of the leaked Pokemon stuff. So this was a bunch of leaked Gen 9 stuff from literally almost 3 years ago. You see November 7th, leaked screenshots. I don't remember this account from back in the day. I just discovered this account now, and I took a look and I was like, you know what, that's kind of crazy. So their last tweet was in July talking about this like fake Switch 2 thing, and they said fake, right? They just came out a couple days ago to say Rotom speaker, new Pokemon for Gen 10, which was kind of a leak. I swear that was something we talked about 2 weeks ago. It was like some sort of voice Rotom thing, which a lot of people are really hoping it means like voice acting maybe, or it could be some reference towards like understanding Pokemon, because maybe this new Rotom speaker could just like let us understand other people, let us understand Pokemon or something like that. But maybe it's literally just going to be a speaker Rotom. And then we have this Edgen, Pirigid, and Gufflo. Somebody said, are these the starters? No response, obviously. So I'm not saying that these are the names of the starter Pokemon. I feel like they're almost a little too odd to like read, just like look at that and be like, oh, Pokemon starters, right? But if they are the starters, Pirigid or Pirigid does sound like a cat. Like, you cannot tell me that doesn't sound like a cat Pokemon. So what if we do actually get another cat starter? And could you guys imagine, what if these are the real names of these starter Pokemon? This Twitter account is pretty small. Like, nobody's really liking or seeing these posts, but just going back 3 years ago, looking at all their posts makes me feel like, okay, there's gotta be some legitimacy to these newer tweets, right? They also made one last tweet saying starter purple eyes. One of the starters may have purple eyes. Guys, bookmark this, screenshot this, put it in the Reddit, which link in the description. I gotta shout that out a little bit more. If you want to post in it, I would love to do some Reddit videos. But yeah, we gotta remember this and come back to it to see if this person was correct or not. Something that's really neat is the original Fire Red Leaf Green website is still up. So it's all in Japanese. I could translate this little bit into English, but look at this, bro. This is so cool. Dude, websites in the 2000s were built differently and they were so interactive. You can see all of, oh my gosh, we're on a Kirby page now. What the heck? Game Boy Advance. Maybe this is some sort of like promotional website. We got Super Smash Bros, Donkey Kong. Dude, this is really cool. If you want to check this website out, I'll leave a link to it in the description. And if I don't, just remind me, because I probably will forget to put it in the description. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Let me know your thoughts and theories about the starter Pokemon. What do you want to see? What do you hope to see for this new trailer coming out in just a few days? And if you are a real one watching this from the video, comment down below Kirby, just because I have Kirby on the screen right in front of me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.